Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and this is the latest entry into my series on the Parliament of the Daleks collection of figurines from the Doctor Who figurine collection, part of the extended Eaglemoss and Hero Collector figurine set for the Doctor Who range. These were issued as part of the Parliament of the Daleks box set number 2, which we're working our way through. And I thought, as we're knee deep in the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, it's time to motor on with these. So let's take a look first of all at this particular entry. This is a Dalek from the third Doctor's story. I think it's Death to the Daleks. It'll tell me on the back of the pod. Yep, there we go, Death to the Daleks, and there is John Pertwee giving us his best third Doctor. As you can see, the pods are very protective of the figurines inside. Overall, I've only had one issue with a Dalek that was damaged when I received it, which some of you will know about if you saw one of my other videos, and an actual close-up review of that Dalek is imminent, and I have taken the necessary DIY steps to restore it, and we'll see how well or not that has transpired. But yeah, these pods are very nice, very easily contained. You've got the cardboard back section, which you can also use as a stand. We're going to get a shot of that because I have already unfastened the little cable tie that holds the Dalek in place, so that I'm in a better position to have this Dalek in hand, so we can really take a good look. And let me see if I can just zoom in a bit more for a really good look. Okay, let's see how close we dare go. It's almost too close, isn't it? So we can see here, this is a Dalek with a machine gun weapon system, in line with the way the character appeared in the TV series Death to the Daleks. Again, it's a really they're quite small, and I think because of that and the fact that they are mass produced, we do see, and we've talked about this before, a degree of paint bleed. You can see it there on the bumper, but overall I think this is one of the more well crafted. I'm looking at the base section predominantly now, because those orbs do tend to see a lot of bleed. There are a couple of minor sections that aren't quite how we perhaps would like them, but moving along to the top, again, it's very neatly done. There's a little bit of inaccuracy there with the paint, but all in all, from a distance, a display distance, you're not really going to see that. And I think some of the other detailing is really lovely on this. You can see the detailing on the weapon stalk there, as well as, of course, the detailing on the eye stalk. And you've got that little section there pulled out in blue. Let's see, I hope you can see that. But yeah, we've got the top of the dome and the two sort of speaker lights that indicate when the Dalek is communicating. Very nicely pulled out. Again, you can see a little bit of on the side here, a little bit of bleed in some of the paint applications, but otherwise a really nice figure, and it just looks exactly how you would want it to look, you know, as part of the overall collection. And I think I was humming and hawing about doing this, but I think I will do, once we reach the end of the collection, I think what we will do is a look at all of the Daleks together. I think about how I best do that, because there's a lot of them. And I've also got a couple of other Dalek items that aren't strictly Parliament of the Daleks, but I do want to include them because they are Daleks, or Dalek related, and I think it's just a nice thing a couple of nice elements to add to that look at the Dalek. So here we have the next one in this duo, which is the bombing Dalek from Destiny of the Daleks, where Davros has intended to have them go out and essentially self-destruct with these additional bombs around the edges. to achieve their victory, because that's the kind of guy he is. And sorry, didn't show you the back very well. There's Tom Baker giving us his 4th Doctor. And again, as ever, the pod can be disassembled. You can use it for display purposes, as I've said before, and I think it makes for a really nice and protective display. Very easy to open, very easy to keep safe. But for the purposes of this, I think we'll make the point of getting it out of these boxes, and all the ones in the future as well. So again, this one is very sort of in line with colour scheme wise, the sort of genesis of the Daleks, early travel machine versions, which is fitting because Destiny of the Daleks comes on the tail, more or less, of Genesis of the Daleks, with it mostly taking place, if I remember correctly, so apologies if I'm a bit astray, but mostly taking place on Skaro itself. So again, we can see the slats along the top, so in some respects it's similar to its Death to the Daleks counterpart there in the background, but it's that sort of more traditional early model, even though the earlier models, as they appeared chronologically on the screen, had sort of the sort of turquoise orbs, etc. But as battle tank machines produced by Davros for the war, it's very much in line with that colour scheme. So it's continuous for the Davros story. More traditional gun weapon, and obviously the manipulator arm. We also have the eye stalk, this time with a very clear sort of silver iris and black pupil in there, which I think is indicative of the ominous Dalek that we're so accustomed to seeing. These bombs are a little bit haphazardly placed, but they actually might be screen accurate. I should have checked that really, although again, I think screen accuracy is a challenge for something like this, especially when you're using, as the BBC, some probably quite dilapidated props at the time to bulk up their army. So let me just pop that there, so we've got them facing each other. I should just point out we do have the official stickers on the bottom to illustrate that it's the Bomb Dalek. It has its license number, Destiny of the Daleks. We do have the same over here on the other Dalek, which is Death to the Daleks. So they are officially licensed pieces of merch. We can bring them a little closer together for the purposes of the film and the camera. But yeah, let me wake myself up a little bit just to get them more centrally in shot for you. But I really love these models, you know. I think they're excellent. They're small, they're easy to display, and I think the level of detailing, and again, this will always, I think, be a bone of contention for some collectors and some purists. There will always be those who want to pick up on some of the nuanced paint apps, and again, I think if you're paying top dollar for some of these, then I 100% agree that the paint apps should be a damn sight more accurate. But this is a you know, it's a retail price. It's not hugely dramatic, and to be honest, these are pretty much only available now in the secondary market due to the issues with Eaglemoss that we all know about, so I won't dwell. So naturally, they're even harder to get, which does force up the price. So the market price will have increased due to the scarcity of the models, and the fact it's a collector's set. And, you know, again, looking at some of the online retailers who've picked up some of the Eaglemoss stock, you may be able to get these in a really, really good deal. But to be honest, I think be prepared to shop around. And if you really do want to pick these up, you might want to just acknowledge that you're going to be paying more than the original retail price was, just based on the fact that there's hardly any, well, distinctly less available in the marketplace as it stands now. So what do we think of these little beauties? As I say, I think they're really lovely little models. I think they complement each other well. I think they bring a lot to the overall aesthetic of the, if you like, evolution of the design of the Daleks as they've appeared across the decades in the show. And I know we had a sort of cursory look at them when I've unpackaged both box sets, but I think it will be nice to see all of them out of their packaging and on display somehow. Especially as I do have, as I've mentioned, a few other items to include in the Parliament of the Dalek set. And also, of course, I do have the Emperor Dalek, which you may have seen in an earlier video, the gigantic mega Emperor Dalek, which is practically a playset. It's so huge. But yeah, I think that's I managed to get that for a really good deal. So there are deals to be had. But in the meantime, we've got these two charmers going to wage war for the sake of the Khaleds, and I love it. I love them. I'm really glad I started to pick these set up, and I really hope you check out some of the other videos in this playlist around the Parliament of the Daleks, because I think on the whole they do a really good job representing these key and iconic characters from the Doctor Who annals of history. So yeah, please have a shifty at some of those. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you picked this box set up, if you think you made the right call, or if you think shouldn't have done that. They're a complete disaster and waste of space, and they're just collecting dust. I find that unlikely, but that might be your experience. Everyone has a different one. Anyway, thank you very much for spending the last 10 or 11 minutes with me. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You have been a wonderful audience. This has been the Death to the Daleks, Dalek, and the Destiny of the Daleks, Bomb Dalek, from the Eaglemoss Parliament of the Daleks Collection Set 2. And I look very much forward to seeing you in a future video. And before you go, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm desperately trying to get to my next milestone, and every subscription to the channel really helps. It's free. You're under no obligation to watch everything. Just watch the stuff that might be of interest to you. But it really helps me as a small channel. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not trying to get any additional funding or anything like that. It just really helps boost the channel and make me think I'm not just talking into the void. Although there's nothing wrong with talking into the void. I do it most of the time. Anyway, whilst you're there, why not like the video as well? And that will mean the world to me. Right, enough self-promotion. Take care. Hopefully see you in a future video. And it just remains for me to say that things of beauty really are a toy forever. Take care for now. Bye-bye.